So you're a dog owner here in Watertown, and you know that having a well-behaved pup can make all the difference. Well, this guide is here to help you find the right professional trainer for you and your dog so you can both live your best life here in the North Country. I mean, think about it. Whether you're trying to weave through the Saturday morning crowds at the farmer's market or just want a nice, calm walk in Thompson Park, a well-behaved dog makes it a joy. Good training just opens up so much more of our city for you both. Okay, here's what we're going to cover. We'll look at training for our local lifestyle, different training styles you can choose from, how to check out a pro's credentials, what it costs, some local rules and resources, and we'll wrap up with a checklist of questions you should ask any potential trainer. First up, let's talk about what training really means for life here in Watertown. The whole point is to have a dog who's comfortable and confident no matter where you are, whether it's staying calm when Arsenal Street is buzzing with traffic or walking nicely on those beautiful trails along the Black River.
So what's the best way to train your dog? Well, there really is no single one-size-fits-all answer. The right fit totally depends on your dog's personality, what you're hoping to achieve, and of course, your own lifestyle. The foundation of almost all modern effective dog training is something called positive reinforcement. It's all about building a relationship based on trust. Instead of focusing on punishment, you're rewarding the behaviors you want to see. This helps create a dog who's confident and happy to learn.
You'll typically see training offered in two main formats: group classes and private sessions. Group classes are awesome for socialization and for learning to focus around other dogs. Private sessions, though, give you that one-on-one help to work on things specific to your home, like barking at the mail carrier or jumping on your friends when they visit. And it doesn't stop there. There are some other specialized options, too. Puppy classes are so important for that early socialization. Day training is perfect if you have a busy schedule. Board and train programs are more of an intensive boot camp style experience. And for more serious issues like fear or reactivity, you'll want to look for someone who specializes in behavior modification. Okay, let's move on. How can you tell if a trainer is a true professional? Here in New York, there isn't a state license for dog trainers. That's why professional certifications are so valuable. They show that a trainer has really invested in their education and is committed to a high standard of care. When you see acronyms like these after a trainer's name, that's a very good sign. A CPDT KA, for example, means they've passed a big exam on training techniques and learning theory. KPA CTP comes from the Karen Pryor Academy, which is a leader in modern training. And for tougher behavior issues, certifications like CBC-KA or IABC-CBC show an even deeper level of expertise. Now that you know what to look for, let's talk about what to budget. Getting a handle on the typical costs for training right here in the Watertown area will help you plan ahead. And just so you know, these figures are based on estimates for 2026. Just to give you a starting point, a single 1-hour private lesson usually lands somewhere in this range. It can be a great way to tackle one or two specific problems or just get a professional's opinion on what your dog needs. This table gives you a wider view of the costs. You can see a 6-week group class is a really affordable option. On the other end, a 2-week board and train is a much bigger investment. The main thing to remember is that prices will definitely vary depending on the trainer's experience and how complex your dog's needs are. You know, being a responsible dog owner also means knowing the local rules. And it's best not to think of them as restrictions, but more like guidelines that help make sure our parks and neighborhoods are safe and fun for everybody, whether they have a dog or not. So here are the absolute essentials. First, your dog has to be on a leash in public, unless you're at a designated dog park. New York state law also requires a rabies vaccination for all dogs over 4 months old, and they have to be licensed in your town or city. And finally, just be mindful of excessive barking, because that can be considered a noise violation. One of the best parts of living here is all the great places we can go. Once you've got some skills down, you can practice in the real world. The dog parks at Thompson Park and over in Adams are great for off-leash practice, and the Black River Trail and Public Square are perfect for working on those leash manners around distractions. All right, we've made it to our last section, and this one is all about taking action. When you're ready to pick up the phone and call a trainer, being prepared with the right questions is going to help you find the perfect match. Here are 5 key questions to guide that first conversation. You'll want to understand their training philosophy and their credentials. Ask if they can build a custom plan just for your dog. It's also really good to know how they measure success. And of course, get a clear breakdown of their fees and any cancellation policies. A true pro will be happy to answer all of this. Putting the time and effort into training is truly one of the best things you can do for your relationship with your dog. When you find the right trainer, you're not just getting a well-behaved companion, you're building a stronger bond and making your life together here in Watertown that much richer. We wish you the best of luck on your training journey.